going to do today is just take a minute of silence, and it's actually the consciousness in the body and the aspiration in the cells of the body. They seek to discover this way of staying connected to the divine all the time. So what we are learning and doing is a minuscule. It's only a start point, but the thirst is there, both from the divine and from our own body cells. Just stay with this aspiration for a few minutes with the body. Just stay in the same posture, and I'll just introduce a little bit, a tiny addition that we're going to do today. Is we're going to work with the aspect of time in a slightly different way. Time has a flowing nature. It's ever present, ever moving. And I also understand it's an aspect of Mahakali, the mother of change, the aspect of change, the aspect of power. This dimension of flowing time can be experienced. I think each one will experience it differently. It can be experienced outside our body, it can be experienced behind or within. But we will kind of open up to the aspect of time today. We'll also use the breath again more consciously today. Breath, again, very interestingly, in one of the books I read long back, is the main practice as an offering to the Mahakali, the mother of force, change, and transformation. Just the same practice that we do, the natural breath. So today what we'll do is, once we get the aspect of time, however, we'll place our breath to connect to this aspect of time, so the breath can get nourished from the eternal time. We'll also take the classic practice where we'll allow the body to open up through its sensations, through its problems, through its bliss. And we are ever happy to be present with the body. And we take our awareness within whatever we experience inside our body, our limitations, our illnesses, with the inner senses, whatever we observe. And we connect our body, to our breath, and the breath to almost penetrate through these layers of illnesses or whatever we find inside. So that becomes a double concentration, the breath within the time aspect, the breath within the whatever is present inside the body. We'll do that first, and somewhere, the process will go organic. Today being the last session, we'll also attempt to go to the pure substance once more. We'll connect to the divine in a very personal way. So it could be, for some of you, it could be Mother, for some of you, it could be Shrebindo. But whoever is divine for you, almost as if you're connecting very intimately, very directly, just clinging to the body or the subtle body of the divine and allowing the divine to do the work. This is what we will do. Somewhere we will introduce offering of Om. Om is said to be the signature of the Lord. So we utter the Om very consciously inside the body. In general, we utter it inside. It's almost like we utter the sound and leave it inside the body, which means we are consecrating the body to the sound. The sound is mentioned by Mother as the signature of the Lord, which means it has a over embracing effect as well. So this is what we will attempt. Kindly close your eyes and just connect to vastness. Vastness surround, vastness at the infinite horizontal, vastness above, vastness below. And let it be a sensorial activity rather than a mental activity, which means you first can hear the sounds around you. You cast your glance actually above your head. You send it up above your head. You send your glance below your feet. You send your glance into the vastness around. So when your glance is sent forward or above, it will reach a particular point and it won't go beyond that. And there again, you know that there's a greater height, there's a greater forward sense of infinity. So thus sensorially connect to vastness. Even if it comes only a little bit, if you do it sensorially, it's worth it than thinking about the process. Do remember that how many ever times we do the practices, it's always the basics that we have to keep fine-tuning. Are we actually aware of the vastness? And at some point, if we are aware of the vastness will reach to us. It'll start penetrating within us. Slowly now, the vastness is the all-encompassing witness. It's a sustainer of everything. And now slowly try and open to the dimension of time. It's not the clock time that we are connecting, but the time, the ever present now, is also flowing. So if you were to land your awareness into the now, if you were to do this practice of landing your awareness into the now, it's almost like a new now comes. And it's not just, some people look at it as a second by second, but it is microscopic also. So every microsecond, there is a now that is landing into which your awareness can move in, and there is a flow here. But you see, what clouds this is our sense of I, is a sense of separation. So to whatever extent we just lean in into the flow state of time, into the ever-changing moment, we connect this time dimension to the verticality above. Verticality is the passage of the divine's ideas. All the divine qualities and forces, in a way of speaking, passes through the vertical dimension to land into our head, to land into our body, to land into our emotion, to directly act on the world. Now, this whole dimension of time is left open to the vertical dimension of the divine all the time. So all we have to do is to truly land in the now, which is actually, the experience of it is a flow state. Because in the now, the divine forces are coming in, the divine intuitions are coming in. As mentioned in the agenda, a phrase, solutions come before the problem. We just have to receive in the now. But you see, there will be this flip. There's something takes over in the mind. Some stirring happens in the mind, and we are in the past. We are not able to be in the now to receive the goodness that's coming in. And very humbly, we just shift our attention into the flowing now, left open to the above. We just have to receive and connect it to our body, to our mind, to our emotion. No matter what our past is, no matter what our weaknesses are, learn to trust this process, because we know a drop of the divine can even dissolve the greatest karmic baggages we carry, truly, if we receive. And all the goodies, the goodness, the grace is coming only in the now. But we live in the past most of the time. So shift to the now and taking the awareness within time, somehow intuitively figuring her space, her dimension. Keep your awareness within the now and just be receptive. Place your breath within the time dimension of now. Connect your breath to that. It's almost like the awareness in the breath is present consciously in that time now, ready to receive anything that comes from the divine. We're just simply receptive. We're not placing demand, but things come into the now from the above all the time. So we don't have to do anything except to receive. So let the breath be in the now, slowly learning to be ever present, ever receiving, and connecting to the body slowly and slowly. Sometimes in this process, you may feel as if the breath and time is all slowly starting to encompass you. And slowly bring awareness to the breath inside the body. So they say time is healing, and it's true because in the now, actually the divine light, the divine grace is inpouring. We are connecting it with our breath, and now we become aware of the breath flow inside the body. And I will call out a few things. First, allow the sensations to open up in the body. Just become aware of sensations overall. Now, whatever illnesses, pain, things that are not working well, including the tiny things like a tooth that is not fine, or a part of the body that is having some stiffness, a tiny boil here, or posture is not balanced. All of these, actually, it's the tiny details that matter. Allow your breath to touch all of these points in your body where there are some difficulties and illnesses and lack of perfection and beauty in our body. Let the breath touch and flow through these sensations, through these energies. Let the breath also flow within those desires that are not in balance for us, which are not holding harmony. And simply allow the breath to touch these desires, intuitively going to the very root of these things, which are present from our conditioning, our habits, forces that come from outside, and the whole memory imprints, the samskaras that we have gathered around this. Simply allow the breath to touch all of these at a vibrational, at a sensational, at an energy realm within us. Instead of worrying or judging anything that exists inside us, our illnesses, our limitations, our desires not in balance, simply let the breath touch and flow through the sensations, vibration, current. Now, the breath that is flowing through all these, the most tiniest imperfections in our body are what is very important. The breath that is flowing through all this, connect the breath once again consciously to the time dimension. The now that is ever flowing fresh, bringing the goodness from the divine above. The breath that is flowing through our imperfections, once again connect the same breath to the aspect of now in time, and be aware of that experience of the flow state of this now. But it is not that simple because we have other sense of separation of the I and some tiny stirring that happens sometimes to intrude into this practice from our thought. But that's why we become very humble again. Remember to experience the flow state of now, because you'll experience it for a few seconds and then it'll become static. You think you're connecting to the time dimension, but we have slipped to the past once again. Sometimes it's a bit overwhelming as well, because the now is fresh, it's flowing, and we are not used to that experience. Connect the breath, connect your body to the ever present now, ever flowing now. If you notice, your entire concentration is to land in the now and to receive, stay connected to the above, to receive the joy, to receive the grace coming fresh from the divine. And also, it's a double concentration. We need to be aware of our body and being so that all that is received here can inpour into us. And now I'll be quiet for 6 minutes in the same state, connecting to the ever present now, and try and remind yourself, are you experiencing the flow? Flow will mean awareness in the now, and then it lands into the next now. And you're curious because you don't know what's coming into the now, which is different each time. The river never flows the same way twice, is a saying. So you're curious. And at the same time, you're also allowing the breath to touch your imperfections, just those tiny boils, just that tiny tension there, just some part of your skin which is developing a different color, just a tiny stress building somewhere. Just focus on these tiny, tiny one. And in this dual state of concentration, silently we will offer the sound Om within the body in different parts, in different cell, but with a rhythm that you choose, some kind of a repetitive rhythm of your choice or that falls by itself. Keep it going, keep it going. And every time you're offering the Om in this manner, Om is said to be the signature of the Lord. You're offering that vibration to the body. I'll be quiet for 6 minutes. Just be quiet for a minute, and then we'll go for the final practice with the subtle substance. And now connect to the divine in a direct and intimate way. And you'll have your own aspect of divine. Connect as if you're connecting to the body or the subtle body always is softer, is different from the physical body. It includes the energy and the presence and the subtle substance that, like a temple, has a stone that holds the presence. So the divine, in a very intimate way, like an avatar, they take a human body and then all the divine qualities are present inside. And there is a subtle body as well. Connect your body and your subtle body to the divine's subtle body in a very humble way. We are never qualified to do this step. We're never ready to do this step, but it's an aspect of love from their side to accept and embrace. So first connect to the divine subtle body and even place your breath inside the divine. It's almost as if you're breathing or your breath is traveling through the divine subtle body. Another way to do it is the samadhi of a master, because that has the subtle body of the divine or master. If this is not coming, then you can connect to the samadhi in a very direct way. When you sometimes go there, you place your head on it and really connect to it. But this time, not just connect to it, but take your awareness within the samadhi, like you may take your awareness within the subtle body of the divine. And allow your breath to be inside the divine's body or the samadhi. And simply be there. To help this practice, sometimes uttering the sound Om above the head at any height that is comfortable, silently, also helps. Your breath and awareness is inside the divine subtle body or the samadhi. And as you're intimately connecting like this, you can even offer the sound Om with the particular rhythm that happens on its own above your head. Now, condense and allow your body substance to expand by taking your awareness and overall connecting to your body's substance. Just compress it internally, and as you compress it, try and keep your awareness open that today or someday you will experience pure matter inside your body, which means matter that is self-lit, self-joy, which is the divine itself in a molten state or in a very supple substance state. So, keeping this connection intimately with the samadhi or the divine subtle body in a very simple way, in your own way, for the next 4 minutes or so, just condense, which is bring all the cells together and just be receptive that there could be just a tiny cell that shows its light, joy, and then just allow the substance of the cells to just expand. Do this slowly, keeping connection to the divine. Certainly remember to condense and let go your spine. It's as if you're having a direct darshan of the divine or the master with complete faith. And you're simply for the next minute or two offering all that is in your body, in your mind, in your emotion, in your sensations, in your desires to come directly under their influence, under their transformation, under their grace. Just let go the whole practice, allowing things to happen on its own. And remember to come back to the state of the flowing time once in a while. Thank you. You can take your time and complete the process whenever it is time for you. Thank you.